Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attempt a tutorial of Dragon Warrior Randomizer, and we'll see how it goes. So I will be kind of putting away the chat for a moment. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Alright, hi everyone, this is MTI, and this is going to be a starting from ground zero tutorial of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer. This assumes you have not even no knowledge of Dragon Warrior Randomizer, it assumes no knowledge of Dragon Warrior, the vanilla game. The goal here is to help you to be able to find some potential routes for yourself, so that when you look at the top tier routes for this game, or even some of the safety routes, you know what's going on, and what's, you know, why the safety is there, as opposed to just looking at it and being like, wait, how did they get 87,000 gold? Where'd this token come from? I don't understand. I will try my best to explain all of that, and I will hopefully be able to get you through this particular seed reliably, and depending on your level of risk tolerance, risk appetite, as we say in my day job field, we will hopefully get you to either follow one of these routes or to construct your own route through this particular seed and get you through hopefully reasonably quickly. This will be kind of a three-part tutorial. The first, I will be going through kind of the absolute basics and doing sort of a full world tour, or at least close to a full world tour of the seed, so that you can see where the various safety measures and things are. The second will be kind of taking you through the route I plan on taking, sort of explaining what it is I'm doing and why, and then the third will just be a straight attempt of the route. So with that, let's go to the selection screen. These are all, I believe, pretty self-explanatory. If you've never played the game before, or if you never saved the game, you'll only see begin a new quest. I'm going to erase this quest. It'll look like this. You just hit begin a new quest. You can pick whatever adventure log you want. I like adventure log 2. I'm just superstitious like that. We won't get into why I have that superstition. You can pick 1 or 3. 1 is the quickest, but you have the 30-second wait. Now, the first thing to be aware of, the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, is there are 4 potential builds, and your build is determined by your name. I will put a link to a utility that will let you kind of pick your name and see how it affects the stats. The utility is actually for vanilla Dragon Warrior, where there are actually 16 different builds. There are 4 macro builds that have... You have 4 statistics in this game, basically. You have hit points, which is your health, how much damage you can take before you die. Magic points, which is your level of how much magic you can cast. Strength, which is what it sounds like, power, relates to how much damage you do. And agility, which relates to a few different things, but essentially it relates to your defense power and your chance of running from things. And the 4 builds that you can get are... So there are those 4 statistics, and 2 of them will have a long-term focus. They will become more powerful kind of than the other 2, depending on your build. And the 4 builds are Strength Agility, Strength Hit Points Magic Points, or Agility Magic Points. And I am going to use the letter Z, which is a long-term Strength Hit Point build. In this particular seed, it doesn't matter too much which one you use. I'm using this one mainly out of habit. And as I mentioned, in vanilla Dragon Warrior, there are actually 16 different builds related to those 4 builds I mentioned, then have sub-builds that determine the 2 stats not in focus. They get kind of short-term bonuses, and how big the bonus is also included in your name. Don't worry about that. In Dragon Warrior Randomizer, you'll always get that maximum short-term bonus, so it's just those 4 builds I mentioned: Strength Hit Points, Strength Agility, Hit Points Magic Points, or Agility Magic Points. I mentioned this is a strength hit point build. Also, I'm using one letter out of habit in vanilla Dragon Warrior and the, if you will, standard race set for the Dragon Warrior Randomizer, which don't worry too much about that for the Big 20. But the short version is the text scrolls letter by letter in those, and so in those it's to your advantage to have a shorter name. Here it doesn't matter. If you can put in a full name in the 30-second wait period, go for it. So we'll hit end, and this will ask you which message speed do you want to use. You want to use fast message speed. Don't get defeated by menu speed, boss. I have done this once or twice. Don't do it. You want fast. This is incidentally where timing begins. It's when you select your message speed. You know what? Yeah, let's put the time up. We'll just see how long it takes me to go through everything. So, 3, 2, 1, let's begin. So you start here, you need to hit the button to advance the text. Don't worry too much about this text, essentially it's giving you your quest. And your goal for this seed is to enter Sharlock, which is the final dungeon. There are a number of flags set in this randomizer to make things really fast. You don't need to worry too much about the specifics. But first things first, you'll notice if you just do nothing, this window will pop up. This is a window of your basic stats. Your level, LV is your level, basically a general measure of how strong you are. HP is your hit points, how many hit points you have. MP is your magic points. G is gold, how much gold you're carrying. E is experience, that's the number of experience points you have. As you get more experience, your level goes up, you get stronger. D is, for some reason, I've died 27 times. D is a randomizer-only flag that is a count of your deaths. And I think it doesn't work quite right if you continually reload. Because the randomizer generally is only meant, I don't want to say it's only meant for one-time use, but I would say the most common use is you generate a seed, you race that seed, you probably never play that seed again. So I imagine that's a low priority fix. Don't worry too much about the D. What you want to worry about is we have these 3 treasure chests here. And you don't want to worry about those treasure chests yet. I mean, you do, but if I hit A, that will pull up our menu. Talk speaks to villagers. That's the only reason you would probably use that is to talk to the king. He will save your game if you're particularly nervous about crashes or whatnot. Otherwise, I don't believe you have a reason to talk to anyone else in this seed. Status will give you a full rundown of your status. You can see those 4 stats I mentioned. Strength. Strength is 4. That's terrible. Agility is 12. That's a pretty good start. Maximum HP, maximum MP, very good. 34 and 19. Attack power and defense power are a function of your strength and agility, as well as a function of the equipment you are carrying. Those actually attack and defense power that go into the mechanics of battle, that we'll talk about when we get there, and then weapon, armor, shield, pretty self-explanatory. Stairs. You have a separate command to take stairs. Why, I don't know. Search just searches the ground. There's nothing there. In the randomizer, you can also use search to take chests. So the take command is really sort of redundant. In normal Dragon Warrior, if I just search here, it'll just tell me there's a chest here, but it won't grab it. But in the randomizer, it will. So if I do that, I search the ground all about, and I find a magic key. Cool. Spell gives you a list of your spells you can use, which in this seed at level 1 we have none. Item will pull up our items. As you can see, we have a magic key. Magic keys are one-use key items. Talk more about those later. You can see we have a locked door here. We would use that magic key. And door unlocks a door. You can also do that by going into the item menu and using a magic key. I'll demonstrate the door command here. Go door. Okay. And finally, take is, again, a way to take treasure chests on the ground. I didn't start the timer. That's okay. All right, so we get an herb. The herb is a healing item. Heals, I believe, between about 20 to 30 hit points in the randomizer. And we come over, oops, not door. And we search this, and there's a second magic key. Okay. So we've done that. We have 2 magic keys. Or, sorry, we have an extra magic key. We have 1 left over after we unlocked this door, which is good. This gives us a few different options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate something called the chest glitch. Don't worry too much about the specifics of it, just watch what I do here. This is one of the safety measures you can take. It is not strictly necessary for reasons I will get into later, but for now, just watch what I do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to exit the throne room. I am going to re-enter the throne room. I am going to exit the throne room a second time. All right, everybody follow? Now I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to unlock this door. And the 4 treasure chests here are, this one is gold. This one is also gold. This one, I believe, is the wings, and this one is a dragon scale. Yes, okay, so that is the dragon scale. The dragon scale is an item that when you put it on, you don the scale of the dragon, and you acquire another 2 defense points. I went from 4-6 to 4-8. Or I went from 6 defense power to 8 defense power. Which is not a whole lot, but if you're going to activate this safety, obviously I recommend getting the scale and using it. Up here is some gold. So gold chests can be anywhere from, I believe, 500 to 755 gold. Now, we've opened 2 chests. If I try to open a 3rd chest, watch what happens. I search the ground. I gain 586 gold. But look at this. The chest is still there. Gasp. Wow. How is that? Again, I won't get too into the specifics, but the very short version is there's a certain amount of memory that the game allocates toward putting chests you have already collected. And what we did by exiting and re-entering and re-exiting the throne room was we made that memory more full than it should have been. So we grabbed 2 more chests, and when we try to open this 3rd chest, the game is like, oh, the memory I would put this into is already full. I guess I'll just put this chest nowhere. But don't worry about your stealing. It's totally cool. You can still have the gold in it. And we can now do what's called the gold grind, where I can just keep getting this chest over and over and over and over again. Going to go up to... I'm going actually far higher than you need to for this seed. We'll go there. And then this 4th chest... Okay. One thing to note about the chest glitch is sometimes this text will be wrong. If you activate this glitch and you acquire an item, sometimes what this says you acquired out of the chest does not match what you actually got out of the chest. For the randomizer, you know what? We won't even get into more general randomizer theory. Just be aware of that, but know that this is the correct item. This is a set of wings. I can actually grab a few more of them if I want to. See, right there it just said you found the bamboo pole. These are not bamboo poles. Bamboo poles are a weapon. You cannot get a weapon. I take that back. You can get 1 weapon out of a chest. The bamboo pole is not one of them. Sometimes you'll get really interesting items. You'll get like an axe ghost. Or simply the red. Or I think Wraith Sword might be one of them. As the game gets a little confused about... I hate saying the game gets confused, because that makes it sound like the developers didn't know what they were doing, and like I don't know what I'm talking about. But essentially the game is pointing the text pointers to the wrong place, and it's grabbing the incorrect text. So now that I have 10,000 gold, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just save here. I'm going to come back here, and we're going to talk to the king. Hey, he's pleased we've returned. Cool, thanks, king. And we learn we need 3 points for our next level. That's not a lot. That's not too bad. Which is a good thing, because we don't have a whole lot of ways of damaging anything right now. Wish to continue the quest? Yes. Okay. So from here, we have some options. What I'm going to do... And you can see the chests are still there as well. So we come outside here. We're in a desert. And what I'm just going to do for now is I'm just going to kind of walk around here. Magician. At level 1, with what we have, I think this is going to be too tough, but I'm going to try it anyway. We did save, so if this doesn't work out... Yeah, that's what I expected. Okay. Problem is, magicians have a decent amount of hit points. Right now, just know that I have a 50-50 chance of either damaging this magician for 1 damage or not hitting it at all. And they have something like 12-ish hit points. That's 5. 8. Oh, nice crit. Oh, and they have heal more. So yeah, I did 11 damage, and then the game just decided, yeah, no, you're not getting any. No, I don't want to fight a magician. We established that. What we're looking for here is red slimes. Drakey isn't the best enemy for reasons. If we can kill it, it will give us our 3 experience points and less our level. However, Drakeys can also heal themselves. So, however, they are weaker than magicians. So, yeah, we still have the 50-50 chance. And there's the heal. Yep. Now we can use our herb to try to make this, try to see if we can get lucky and the Drakey either, or we can crit. That works. Okay, so, as you can see, we have our 3 experience. We also got 6 gold. And we will gain some stats. So let's take a look at what we get. Courage and wit have served thee well. Thank you. Those have been promoted to the next level. Power increases by 1. Response speed increases by 1. Those are not great, but maximum hit points increased by 0. Thanks, game. In the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community, I have a meme. 0 HP! Oh, I love it! So there we go. We'll be seeing some of those later in this seed. We get 6 additional maximum magic points, but more importantly, we get the hurt spell. This is pretty big, because we can now actually, well, hurt things. For instance, this Magidrakey. As you can see, I can hit it for 1, or I can throw a hurt spell at it and do 14, and instantly get another level. And this level is big because we get 1, 3, 1, 7, whatever. We learn a sleep spell. That's going to be big later on. More importantly, we learn Hurtmore. Now we can kill basically anything. We're ready to kind of go exploring here, so let's do this. We do not. Okay. No. No, we know hurt, sleep, and hurt more, but not heal. Okay. Let's actually do this. I think it's level 4 where you get heal. So ghosts and Drakeys, both very easy enemies. You can just cast hurt on them. Ghost is actually an okay battle to fight at level 1 if you want to try it. Be aware they do also have the hurt spell. Okay, so that gets us level 4. Or it should. 0 power! Oh, I love it! There it is. There's the heal spell. Okay, so now what we're going to do... And again, this is very much kind of the world tour. This is not necessarily the quickest way to do it. I'm just showing you all of your options here. What you can do in the town is you can cast heal here, healing up to full. And then this person here will fully restore your magic points. So we now have 35 HP, 33 MP. We have 10,000 gold. And we have the spell of Hurtmore. So we're in pretty good shape here, I would say. I need 25 more points for the next level. We'll we'll save our game. Keep our gold. And I will briefly look and see if there are any questions so far in the chat. Okay. No. Hey, I mean... Alright, so we come over here. And now we're ready to kind of go exploring a little bit. First thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of go to the southwest. Here's a scorpion. I'm going to try a regular hurt on the Scorpion. This may work. Well, it'll work. It may kill it, it may not. Okay, it did. Metal Scorpion, these you just want to hurt more. Once you get the spell of Hurtmore, with rare exceptions, I'm not going to say it's never the wrong move, but generally speaking, if you're new to Dragon Warrior or the Randomizer and you don't know the various stats of the enemies, just chuck a Hurtmore. I'll tell you some of the exceptions where you should not try that. Virgin Wit have served thee well. Okay, 11 power, that's cool. I can actually hit some things. Red Slime. One thing to note, if you think you can one-hit kill an enemy, it's almost quicker with these flags to just kill it than it is to try to run. This town right here, this is the town of Hawksness. This is the ruined town. This is where we get one of the 3 key items we need to beat the game. We're going to come back here. The 3 items that you need to actually beat the game are the, or not to beat the game, but to open up Charlock. Charlock is the final dungeon in the game, and to open it up, you need to create a rainbow bridge using the rainbow drop. To get the rainbow drop, you in turn need 3 more items that you trade in, which are the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. And I will show you where all of those are. We're going to come back here. Theoretically, we actually can win the battle that's in here, but we're gonna hold off on that and come back later. The other thing we're going to do is, see this square here? First off, notice to the left, you see the kind of fortress there. That's Charlock. That's our destination. The second thing is we are currently, let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares west of Hawksness. We're going to search this spot. And we acquire the Silver Harp. Neat. Now you're saying to yourself, MTI, how is anyone supposed to know how to search there? There is a NPC in a town called Cantlin, which I will get to. And when you talk to that person, they will tell you, in the randomizer, it'll be one of 2 things. It'll be, you may go and search, and then they will tell you how far from the castle you have to go to search. And the coordinates are, they match up to this square. And since I played this seed before, I just know that's the square you need to search. Don't worry about it for this randomizer, but that person can also tell you, thou must go and fight, which means there is no item at all on the overworld. So you have the Silver Harp. We'll be trading that in for the Staff of Rain. The Silver Harp, if you're curious, will do this. Play a sweet melody on the harp, and it summons an enemy. In this case, we summoned a Magidrake, which I might be able to just kill at this point. Let's see. And not really. I will throw a hurt spell at it. So you can try to, if you're desperate for enemies, you can try to get here, get the Silver Harp, and play it. The problem is, it will sometimes summon stuff you're not going to be able to kill at level 1. So with that, we now have... we have found... Oh, Demon Knight. So remember when I said most of the time you want to hurt more things? Demon Knights you don't want to hurt more. It has a very low chance of working. You want to try to run from them. Frankly, your chance of running isn't great either, but it is better than trying to hurt more. As you can see, I actually got away. Cool. We'll throw a heal down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to continue kind of going west here. And there are a couple caves here. There's another Demon Knight as well. There's also a town up there. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to go to this town, or try to. And this is the town of Garenham. We're going to need to come back here later, because one of our destinations is through this door. This is the town where, in this seed, we will be trading in the Silver Harp to get the Staff of Rain. The problem is, in order to do that, we need another key, which we don't have because we unlocked the treasury. So that is a decision you kind of have to make as to whether you want to do that gold grind at all. If you do opt to do the gold grind, we can do a few different things here. You can come over here, and we can buy some herbs. You can carry up to 6 herbs, and like I said, they're basically a heal spell. So why don't we go ahead and do that? You can just hold the A button down here. That's cool. And once you get to 6, the game will basically tell you, oh, that's right, I used my herb. So yeah, it's like, no, you can't hold anymore, friend. Sorry. Torches have 2 uses. They light up dungeons, which you don't need in this randomizer because the setting is set to auto light up dungeons. But you can also, in the randomizer, you can throw them to do some minor damage to enemies. Dragon Scale we already have. We don't need one of those. And right now we don't need a torch either because we have the Hurt and Hurtmore spells. So if we talk to this friend, we can see that we can purchase a broadsword. Well, we can purchase a few different things. But what you really want to be focused on here is the broadsword and possibly the full plate. The broadsword is not strictly speaking necessary. I like to purchase it regardless as later insurance, which I will discuss when we get to that point. There's also full plate armor, which you don't need the full plate, but it is nice. It's an extra 24 defensive points. And so that will translate to, on some of the mid-grade enemies, it'll translate to basically between 3 and 6 fewer damage you'll be taking on average. The broadsword is an extra 20 attack points, so that is an extra 5 to 10 damage you'll be doing on your attacks. Which, again, not super useful, because you will have Hurtmore, but if you manage to get to this point with some gold and you're still at level 1, it's definitely a useful purchase, and I like to pick it up anyway. So we'll grab those, and we will also come over here. CB again, cool. This cave, don't worry about it. This is the Swamp Cave North. This will lead to a second continent on the south. You don't need to worry about it for this seed. There's nothing useful over there. What we're going to do instead is we're going to continue going through this poison swamp. Now, each time you take a step in this swamp, you will lose 2 hit points, with one exception. But if we come to this town, this is the town of Rimuldar, or Rimulder. This chest down here is another set of wings. I wouldn't worry too much about it. We can also check out what's in the shop here in Rimulder. There's a silver shield here, which is... It's nice, but it's not necessary, and it's a lot of gold. So if you really want a silver shield, I believe it's an extra 20 defense power, but the problem with it is it's 8,000 gold. So if you decide you really want that, you are committed hardcore to the grind. There is also a much more reasonably priced large shield here, which we will get, that I believe is either 10 or 14 defense. Just buy anything more now. Okay, let me take a look at our stats here. So 25, so it's 12. 12 and 24. Is that 11? No, it would be 12. No, okay, it's okay. Is that actually, is it 10? I'm trying to do some math here. So 25, you get as a base defense power, you get half your agility. And I believe it rounds down. So I have 25 agility, which would be 12 defense. I then have the Dragon Scale, which is another 2, so that's 14. I have the full plate, which I know is 24. So that would be 38. Yeah, so I believe the large shield is an extra 10 defense, which is pretty reasonably priced if you have the gold for it. The other big thing about this town, if you opt to do the gold grind, this is where you will acquire additional keys. Keys are 53 gold each. And you don't need that many. But I'll get the full 6 because I have the gold for it. And we'll go back in and we'll use the inn, because why not? Okay. Again, those are wings down there. Don't grab those wings. You lose money on that transaction. So if we continue to the southwest here, a Druid Lord. We want to Hurtmore this friend. Get 58 experience and another level. 7-5, 0 HP. One thing to note, depending on your stat gains will be fixed on your levels. The only way they will change is if you use a different name as you go through your reps. Basically, each build has a specific stat growth tied to it. So as long as I'm always Z, my level ups will be the same every time. Okay, so we're here. This town is the town of Coal, and it is very important. You need to go to this town to be able to finish this seed. And the reason for that lies here. If we search this area, we see we have the Erdrick's token, which, as I mentioned, is one of the 3 items you need to beat the game, or to get the rainbow drop. Now, again, you might be saying, what? How the heck was I supposed to know to search there? This is actually something in the vanilla game. There is a villager somewhere, either in this town or another one, who says, 4 steps south of the bath in Coal, you will find something. So that's how you know to search there. And I'll just briefly check this is the weapon and armor shop here. I'll just briefly check it. There's no silver shield there. The flame sword is actually even stronger than the broadsword, but we really only have the broadsword for, again, some insurance later on. Basically, the broadsword serves one of 2 purposes. Either as insurance, if you can make it all the way there on kind of a hero walk, to be able to... That'll help you get from level 1 to level 2 at that point, because you'll actually be able to hurt weak enemies. Or when fighting the enemy in the town of Hawksness. One moment. Okay. The flame sword is 28 attack power, so it's an extra 8 over the broadsword. Then the silver shield is a silver shield. And then the rest of the stuff is pretty useless, don't worry about it. What do we want to do here? Let's think about this. I am actually going to use my wings to go back to start. Because I have basically done about all I can on that side of the map for now. 39.45, okay. So now, since we have our keys, I'm going to show you something, just maybe an extra measure of super extra safety. I'm just letting you know this is here. I'm not saying I necessarily recommend going for it. But a couple things. There's another door over here. And this person will also sell you keys, but they're more expensive. The 2 flaws here are, A, the keys here are more expensive than the keys in Rimildar. And B, you'll notice you need a key to get over here to buy these keys. So if we come down here, this is what's called the Mountain Cave in the vanilla game. I'm going to try to get to something that is that you may or may not want. Like I said, I'm not necessarily recommending you grab this, but I want to show you it's here. So from here, if we go right... Oh, this is why you may not want to grab this, because of these. Armored Knights are some of the nastiest things in the game. Honestly, this is why I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting this, because this is going to be most useful early on. But in order to actually get there, you're going to have to dodge these. And it's not exactly a short walk, so... the way to... Also, running from these is probably going to be a fool's errand. You're going to want to just try to cast Hurtmore on them twice and hope you survive. That's 1. As you can see, he did 31. That's a lot. Okay, but we did win, so that's cool. You do get a lot for defeating them, but... actually, I have herbs. Let's use those. We go right to, up to, another one. And this is, you can see why, this is why I don't necessarily recommend trying this. Another level, though. That's nice. 2, 3, 5, 25, and we learned Radiant. You know what? Let's throw Radiant down. Radiant makes it so you can see more of the map. So. Wyvern. Okay, again, even here, you're going to want to just throw a Hurtmore against a Wyvern. But if you can make it down here, you get the Erdrick's armor, which is the best armor in the game. Now, it is an extra 4 defense over the full plate, which is not a lot, but it has some other properties that could theoretically be very useful. The first is that it makes you immune to Stop Spell. Stop Spell is a spell that, if it works, you and or the enemy cannot cast spells. This is relevant because the Stone Man we have to beat in that town I was in before, Hawksness, that enemy can cast Stop Spell. And if it casts Stop Spell, you basically lose. You have to run and try the fight again, or just die and try the fight again. Unless you are quite strong, which right now we are not. We have a lot of magic, but... Excuse me. It also reduces the damage of when enemies cast Hurt and Hurtmore on you, and when they breathe fire on you. And the last thing it does is it makes you immune to swamps and barriers. If you remember when we were walking through the swamp and I said you lose 2 hit points per step with 1 exception, the exception is if you have this armor. So it's very useful armor, but in this seed it is not very easy to get. But we have it now. So... if you go down here, that leads to the second basement of the mountain cave. I don't recommend going in there. There's nothing useful in there. Same thing for that staircase right there. Is it this way? Okay, so we actually made it out of there. That's nice. So I'm going to go refill. Oh, the other thing the armor does is you recover 1 hit point with every step you take. So that's really neat. So now we have all those things. We're going to come back here. Now, you theoretically, in theory, you can do this as soon as you reach level 3 and you acquire Sleep and Hurtmore. If you're really feeling lucky, you can do that. I recommend waiting until probably level 5 or 6, or even 7. Oh, I got another level. Cool. I mentioned Demon Knights, enemies you don't want to mess with for Hurtmore. Oh, excuse me. Wizards, another enemy you don't want to mess with. You want to just run from them because they are very resistant to Hurtmore. So if you see a wizard, don't mess. Just run away. All right, so we come over here. And you'll notice I'm not taking damage from the swamp. Here's our nemesis. Here's the Stone Man. Stone Men have a maximum of 135 hit points. And so what you want to do is you want to open the battle with a sleep spell. That should always put the Stone Man to sleep. After that, you want to start chucking Hurtmores and hope they connect. Hurtmore does 58 to 65 damage to an enemy. It has, in this case, enemies have varying Hurtmore resistance. I mentioned don't even try casting it on Demon Knights and Wizards. Their Hurtmore resistance is very high. You're not likely to hit. With the Stone Man, it's about a 50-50 chance to hit. It's actually a tiny bit better. I believe it's 9 out of 16 to hit with a Hurtmore. And you will need at least 2 of them, possibly 2 and some more damage. So let's see how this goes. So as you can see, the spell had no effect, and the Stone Man woke right up, which is even better. Oh, even better. So you'll notice he hit Chanted Stop spell. With Erdrick's armor, that will never connect. That's basically a free round for us. And now the Stone Man is back asleep. Apparently, Stonemen have very small sleep resistance, which I did not know. We're going to again try to Hurtmore. Again, no effect, but this time it stays asleep. We're going to try again. No effect. Alright. No effect. Cool. Alright. No effect. There we go. There's one. Okay. Good 64. That's pretty good. And again, you can, in theory, sleep and immediately land 2 Hurtmores. But we got pretty unlucky here, which is why you probably want some levels. And there's the second one, and there we managed to kill it. Sometimes you won't, and that's another reason you want the broadsword. The broadsword will give you enough extra attack power to kind of put you over the top in that battle. So we come down here. Once you win, make sure to search. And we'll find these Stones of Sunlight. Cool. Now we can get out of here. We now have 2 of the 3 items we need. And we're going to go get the third one right now. Again, I believe it's technically faster to run, but... Oh, Metal Scorpions of Hurtmore. That's nice. We're going to come back up here. What is this? This is Erdrick's... okay, so... This is the Tablet Cave. There's free gold in here if we walk all the way down. So basically, the first floor you keep going down and right. One thing to be aware of with this cave is there are no enemies, which sounds great, but if you get lost, that means you just have to bump and stumble your way until you find the way out. So be aware of that. But if we go right, up, left, up, right... You go down here, and we search that. So if you can make it there, you can get some free gold as well. Oops, see, I have no idea where I'm going, clearly. Do I know? I do not. Okay. There's a spell outside which does what it sounds like. It immediately takes you out of a dungeon. You don't know it at level 9 yet. Okay. So, okay, we're going to go back here to Garenham. Wolves, if you have Hurtmore, just Hurtmore them. Because if you don't, they will Dragon Lord Breath you, and Dragon Lord Breath hurts. Okay, so now that we have... So now that we have keys, we can open this door. And the chests in here are a cursed belt, which don't put that on, some more gold on the top left here, and another cursed belt. You can sell the cursed belts for about 200 gold each at the item shop, but right now we don't need that gold. So, oops. So this friend wants the silver harp. He says, "You brought the harp, good." So he will disappear, and you can get the treasure chest. And when you do that, you get the Staff of Rain. So we now have the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and the token. We have the 3 items we need to get the Rainbow Drop and finish the game. Cool. You can just exit out of here now. And if we go from here, we want to now go up and to the right. So remember how I said there was a NPC who told you where things were, where the silver harp was? Well, that's in this town. This is Cantlin. Cantlin has 3 shops in it. See a full plate, large shield combo here. Interesting. Behind a door is another key shop. You know, I don't really need keys at this point, but I can see magic armor, silver shield. Okay, so nothing too useful there. Silver shield, I suppose. And down here is the broadsword full plate combo again. And if we come over here, this is the person who will tell you where to search, if you're curious. So Tantegel Castle is the castle you start the game in. And it's 15 south and 13 west. And like I said, just know that that leads you to that square I told you to search earlier. Silver Harp. You don't need the... If you're curious what those coordinates actually are, well, there you go. So really, you have no particular reason to visit this town, is what I'm saying. But curious how you know some of the things. Also, the inn is very expensive here. What we're going to do instead, we're going to go to this here. This is a friend we like to call the Jerk. Because if you don't have the 3 items that you need to get the rainbow drop, he will give you some sort of condescending remark and be like, GTFO noob, in so many words. Fortunately, since we do, he tells us that the sun and rain shall meet and the rainbow drop passes to our keeping. And if we check our inventory, we have the rainbow drop. Cool. Alright, so we're just about done here. I'm going to briefly show something. You can come down here. This dungeon is Garen's Grave. Again, I don't necessarily recommend coming here, but I do want to show this. Oh, especially because they have armored knights. Cool. Yeah, okay. In that case, I definitely don't recommend coming here. There's another level. That's cool. So we go up, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, up here. A torch, which is useless. You get some gold, and here's the big prize here. There's the Erdrick sword. That is the best sword in the game. That is 40 attack power. So again, just want to point out that that's there if you really feel like going for it. Again, by the time you're strong enough to be able to reliably make it here, it's not going to actually be that useful. But it is an extra 10 to 20 total damage per attack. Depending on other formulas, etc. We still don't. Oh. Also, Magic Wyverns can cast Sleep. That's great. I've forgotten how to get out of here. It's Radiant. So I can see where I am. Okay, got it. This way. Night draws near. We're going to just run away. What's our agility at? Agility is 48. Okay. So yeah, 48, you're better than a coin flip to be able to run from things, except for armored knights. So now that we have the rainbow drop, I'm just gonna fight this and see what happens. Yeah. That's the Erdrick sword. Demon Knight, just run. Alright, so here you use the rainbow drop. And you enter, and that is the end of the seed. Now, one thing to note if you decide to finish this seed out, or you ever decide to get into the Dragon Warrior Randomizer in a general sense, is this flag set enables what's called Short Sharlock. This dungeon is normally 7 floors deep. Here, you just go right to the bottom floor that has the Dragon Lord, which we are not going to fight, because that would be a fool's errand right now. But that's the end of that seed, so. Now, what I will do is, like I said, I'll do kind of an untimed run of the route I plan to take for this seed. and I will try to, as I do this, explain my reasoning and things for taking this route. I don't guarantee that this is the absolute fastest route necessarily, but it is pretty reasonably fast. I usually get between 7 and 8 minutes with this route, so. So we'll see how this goes. And then, like I said, after that, we'll do a timed route. All right, so again, make sure you don't... By the way, if we hit normal, I just want to... Okay, because... All right, it actually doesn't matter because speed hacks are on. One of the flags in this is speed hacks, which just makes the text go really fast. If that is off and you pick normal or slow, it is awful. I don't recommend ever doing that. So we'll get the herb of the 2 keys. And we'll leave. Now, I opt to not do the gold grind. And the reason is I want to save my key, so ideally I only have to make 1 trip into Garenham, and don't need to visit Rimmeldar at all. Because that's the only place in this seed where you need a key. Skeleton we're going to run from. So what I try to do, depending on what I encounter, is I grab the silver harp. Okay, and I got... Which, that is a risk of this route. Basically, at some point in this route, you're going to need... At some point in this seed, you need RNG to go your way. There's not really a way around it. The perfect bid, as we call it in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community, hit me for exactly my max damage. Cool. No, Scorpion, no. Okay. Demon Knights, okay. Now, I should point out that trying to grind would not really have helped me there. Because Demon Knights are Demon Knights. So I kind of play this section by ear. If I come across a Drakey or a Ghost or a Red Slime right away, I will fight it. Otherwise, I'm not going to spend my time trying to grind for these enemies. I'm not going to just walk around the castle. You can if you want to. That might be the safer play, the better play. I don't. I try to hero walk to Garenham, which you've seen how that's gone so far. But since we're here, we're going to try to fight this Drakey and see how it goes. Maybe we get a lucky crit. Maybe it opts not to heal more when it's almost dead. Or heal, rather. Nice crit. There it is. Okay. So now we have the hurt spell. So now we can actually do some things. Now if I come across, say, a Scorpion, I can cast Hurt on it. I'm going to sleep in Hurtmore. Okay. Like I said, theoretically, I can go try to get the thing from... I can go try to get the Stones of Sunlight right now, but we're not going to do that. So, now that we've made it here to Garenham, we're going to do this. We're going to open this door. We're going to grab the gold. 549, that's enough. Cool. Don't need the belts. So the reason I grabbed the gold here is for this. Okay, so we grab the... Make sure to get the chest. We grab the Staff of Rain. Cool. Now we come out. Go back in. And we come over here. And we buy the broadsword. This is, again, Stone Man insurance, because while in the tutorial, I was able to kill the Stone Man with 2 Hurtmores, sometimes that doesn't happen. And you need a little more damage, which means either a 3rd Hurtmore or a Rogue Scorpion. Fortunately, we know Hurtmore. And we learn heal. Cool. Again, if in doubt, just Hurtmore. I'm actually going to take a safety in trip here as well. So now I'm trying to make it to Cole. And we made it. Cool. And so here we get the token from the spot 4 steps south of Cole. Sure. I just fight a ghost at this point. I might be able to just fight a Mana Drake as well. Yeah, okay. Here, actually getting Death Warps back to the start isn't the worst thing. Quite honestly. Because we need to go to Hawk's Nest anyway. That's fine. Speaking of. We're now level 7. That should be hopefully more than enough, but we'll see. See, I'm running. You can just fight. It doesn't really cost that much time. Alright, so now the Stone Man. Oh, okay. We may not even get there. You know what? We're just going to do this. Magic Wyverns are the strongest enemy, I believe, where 1 Hurtmore is guaranteed to kill them. We want every hit point we can manage for this. So sleep. Stone Man's asleep. Stone Man's asleep. Alright, that's the second, and alright, cool. I ended up not needing the broadsword. Alright, so we got the stones. And now we just have to trade the items and enter Charlock. I don't know why I hurt more of that skeleton. Don't ask me. See, this is what he says if you don't have some of the items. He's like, get out of here. If you don't have the token, he's like, sorry, you're not the descendant. Get out of here. And there we go. There's the seed. Hopefully you all followed along with that. Hopefully nothing is too super mystical there for you. I have no idea how long that took me. Alright, I'm going to take another quick restroom break, and then we'll time this out, and we'll see how long my route theoretically takes me. And again, now that hopefully I've given you everything you need to kind of construct your own route through this, and if anyone has any questions, please let me know either in the Discord or next time I stream or whatever, and I will do my best to answer them. But for now, I am going to utilize the facilities, etc., etc. So I will be right back. I'm not running from a red dragon with 57 Have I had my audio off this whole time? Oops. My AverMedia, I mean. Whoops. Oh well, luckily you don't need audio cues for this, so. Alright, anyway. Alright, well let's do this. Let's see how many, like, let's just see how many, okay, audio and game are both good, alright. Let's see how many shots I get in total here. I want to do kind of something like this. Whoops. Ah, shoot, that's not what I wanted to do by any means. I had the right idea, but, alright, try that again. I want to basically get that enemy to follow me out, but I don't want to... Here. We need the Star of Hope to teach you fairy magic. Okay. You're gonna find that. Give this anyway. Use the stool to speak with our king. Alright. This? Okay. Your inner darkness has pulled you into a meta. If you stay here too long, you may never be able to return to your own world. Fly as a fairy and go to Garden Temple in the east. Oh, so this is the palace. I see. Well, there's a fairy. The Blue Knights are our enemy. Their lair is up north. Oh. Great. I'm dead. Am I? No, I'm not. Did you see that combo? That was awesome. I don't even care what happens the rest of this fight. There we go. Okay. Come back. This time we have game audio, so that's good. Sorry about that, but like I said, hopefully you at least got everything you need. Alright, let's give this a go. By the way, in the seed, you can wrap the cursor. In this menu, you cannot. Alright. Hey, Lady B, how's it going? Alright, let's try this. Let's see how long this takes me. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Alright. Yep, Dragon Lord, cool. Skeleton is too strong for right now. Okay, didn't even get to search the square. Cool. Thanks, video game. Appreciate that. We're gonna try the ghost. Ghost can chant hurt, which is a little concerning. Like that. One more hit. Yep, alright, that was easy. Thank you, video game. Okay. Warlocks are going to take a couple hurts, or 1 Hurtmore. Since I don't have Hurtmore, I have to use regular hurt. Alright. Alright, so, buying herbs is not necessarily the worst move. Problem is I don't remember how much a full plate is. I don't think I get there. So. The ghost is cute, yeah. Yeah, all the enemies are pretty cute, I'd say. Oh, don't leave without getting the treasure chest. That would be very, very bad, because that guy comes back after you leave here. I probably could have just cast a regular hurt there and been fine. Alright. Really? No, we have a broadsword. Let's go. One. Okay. 2. Alright, and again, we turned out to not need the... Every time you use that one herb we have. I can't cast, Hurtmore. Oh, I did the wrong one. Okay. Got the token. You get the stones, good. Up here. Anything good? Can I actually get anywhere from here? No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I actually had a really good shot at PBing, and then my curiosity got the better of me. So what was over there? The answer is nothing. Oh, cool. Alright. Alright, I think it was actually like 6:46, but we still PB'd by like 20 seconds. So,